Hello, everyone. Welcome in on this late evening. Yes. How was your day today? How's your week going? Hello. Welcome in. Welcome to Video Cliff Notes for Entrepreneurs. That's what we're doing. Once again, Video Cliff Notes for Entrepreneurs. It is a space for us to be able to come in and share the skills, the talents, the expertise from high performers so that we don't have to be delayed at reaching our success, right? We can be able to save the time that we don't really have, right? um, and figure out now what is the next best thing I need to be able to do or apply. So that's what this is. Video Cliff Notes for Entrepreneurs. Welcome in. I am your girl, Sanae Batay Mitchell, and also known as Savvy Sanae in these digital streets. And I am a CEO I am two businesses actually. The Trinity Technology Group, which is a service-based IT company where I actually train techs that don't have any experience, right? No experience, and no formal training, like they don't have any certifications on how to become technicians, field technicians, right? Hardware technicians. So we're the technicians that go out, they run the cables in buildings, they install some of the machines like your self-checkout machines, your point of sale machines, all in some of your favorite stores and restaurants across the country. Um, that is what I have been doing for the past, what should I say, like, was it 16 years now? I started off with in IBM. And now I have Rock Your Tech Networks as well, helping entrepreneurs be able to connect the tech, right? Be able to communicate and cash out, okay? So that you can be able to get your products and services in front of your clients, right? With ease, using all this technology. So, we are reviewing the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. Okay, we've been reviewing it. Y'all been hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all so much. We are already up to chapter 14. Can y'all believe y'all been reading this book? Oh my gosh. So, I've been, of course, reading the book and coming in and sharing with you all. So it's just like you all are reading the book too. You're getting the same information that we need to kind of start to focus on what they are discussing in the book, right? So chapter 15 is about productivity. Who needs to be more productive? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I see y'all. Raise your hand if you need to become more productive. Are you really focused on your goals? Are you really focused on achieving the results that you really want? That's really the ultimate question. Because then it moves into, now, what do you need to do to become more productive to get those results and to be able to reach the goals? That's what it really boils down to, y'all. And so, of course, the whole book is about the one thing, right? How to refocus our minds and really, really hone in on how to get these extraordinary results. That we just understanding that we're no different than some of the big leaders that we see, right? They're running these huge companies. And so that is what we are focused on, right? How do we really focus on that one thing? What do we need to do to be able to align our minds and the actions that we need to take to really hone in on that one thing and actually get something done? So, of course, we have to get something done, being productive, right? So I'm going to kind of go over some of my notes that I took while reading the book. So it said, we are doing nothing You know, like we go, oh, I'm not doing nothing. Well, doing nothing is actually still doing something because you put in effort to do nothing, right? Even if it's like I'm doing Netflix and chill, you put in effort to pop your popcorn, get your snacks, lay on the couch, make it all comfy or whatever, and watch your movie. So it's not that you are not doing something. You're just not doing something that may be productive towards a specific goal or a specific result that you really want. And so we have to really be honest. And sometimes we don't like to be honest because it hurts, right? I hear the truth, right? That we all have the same amount of hours, y'all. We all are given the same amount of hours, 24 hours every single day. So why does it seem like somebody else get more done than I get done, and we all have the same amount of hours? That's the biggest thing, right? But it all boils down to being productive. Is what they actually do in the allotted amount of hours that they segment or they set aside for those particular goals. And so they, the experts out here, they did the research. They was like, listen, you don't even need the whole 24 hours to be productive. All you need is just the 4 hours a day that you can just sit and be focused in on your one thing to be able to get things done. Can you just 4? All we need is 4, y'all. So what can we do to be able to really, really, get those 4 hours, right? So they were just talking about, how, money is used to measure, results as well. But that's just because that's something we can like physically see and hold, right? But the productivity is actually one of the biggest ways to be able to measure results, right? That's how we're able to see things are being done, right? We see all this, what is it? Elon Musk, and sending up, new spaceships. We see new cars being invented, right? New medical solutions coming out for various things, right? Because people took the time and they were productive to be able to get things done. So we said, well, who has the time to be successful? You do. I do. We do. Okay. So how do we do that? It's called time blocking. So remember, they said we only need 4 hours. And I know some of y'all are like, oh my gosh, I'm busy. I'm a mother. I'm a single mom. I have responsibilities. I don't have any extra time. I don't know where it's going to come from. But the thing is, it depends on how serious you really want it. They're saying there's no excuse in trying to really find that time, because we find times for the things that matter to us the most, right? So if your goal is that important, and this is where I told y'all, it started to hurt. If that goal and those results are that important, then we'll find a way to be able to put in those time, right? Even if we put it on the schedule and something comes up, they said, put it on the schedule. Make it, so that you visually, you see it, it's there. And if you do have to remove it, replace. Remove or replace, right? So that means like move it to another day or add those hours somewhere else. Even if sometimes you may only be like, listen, I don't have the whole 4 hours. Well, do you have half of it? Can we just say you have 2 hours? Even if it's 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at lunchtime, and then you can try to do, another hour some time later. But how can you be able to get at least some of that done, even if it's not the whole 4 hours? Can you start off with half and then work your way up and see if you can find more time? Because the thing is, as we continue to work, we can probably cut some things and save time, right? So that's the other thing that they always keep saying. So the effort that we're putting towards that one thing that we really want in our life, we'll be able to make other things so that it's not needed. It's no longer needed. So that means that it saves us time because we don't even need to do those tasks. So blocking 4 hours a day is the ideal goal. And of course, you're like, okay, well, how can I do that? You have all of these reasons of why. They say you really sometimes have to be able to make other people even respect your time. Even right now, like I put my phone on do not disturb, so I can be here with you all and people don't disturb me, right? Sometimes we have to do that too while we're at home. Literally cutting off social media or cutting off the internet itself. No searching, no getting online at all, so you can work on whatever it is that you really need to work on. And so that means, yes, you might have to lock yourself away in a room. You may have to take yourself out of a home environment. Maybe go to a coffee shop and work or go to a library. There's always a solution to it. That's what I'm trying to get you all to understand. If it's that serious to you and you really, really want it, you'll make it happen. You'll be able to, like I said, tell others when you will be available. Like, listen, I'm doing my 1 hour right now, y'all. Give me an hour. Then y'all can call me, y'all can bug me, do whatever. Even with if you have children, family members, you're a caretaker. See if there's someone who can come and take care of your loved one for just that amount of time so you can really focus on the things that you want to do. Okay. Never neglect yourself either. And so that's what I wanted to kind of just share with you all, right? That nothing and no one has, you have to adopt that understanding that no one and nothing has your permission to be able to distract you from this goal and from your one thing, right? And know how to protect it. And I talked about that a little bit yesterday about we have alarms on everything, right? We have alarms on our car, our house. We got insurance to protect stuff, but the thing is, the one thing we really don't ever protect is our time. So we have to be able to now start to learn how to protect something that's the most precious and the most valuable thing we have, because it's not infinite, right? So that is really the conclusion of chapter 15. And then 16 goes into commitments. There's 3 basic commitments that we have to focus on, which is number 1 is mastery. Mastery is becoming the best you can be. And that's so funny because recently I've just been sharing on social media about like the journey of becoming you. Become you to be you. I don't know if you all caught that, but you have to become you to be you. And you're like, well, what does that mean? Well, the thing is, we're every day, like when we're born and throughout life, we're constantly learning, right? We're constantly reinventing ourselves to become something better or something that we really want to be. So the whole time we're becoming. It's okay. We are going to change. And there are people like, I ain't going to change. I'm never going to change. You're going to change. It's life. If you stay still, I don't want to be around someone who don't change. Like, okay, now when it comes to your core values of who you are, now of course that shouldn't change. But you as a person should develop. You should grow. You should be able to expound, right, into greater things. And so that's the first thing. So mastery, become your best. The second one is seek the best ways of doing things, right? Because you can't achieve results that are equal to your effort. Okay. So it says seek better ways to be able to do things. And then number 3 is be willing to be held accountable. Accountable. Yeah. Like, yeah, I know you're a boss. You're baddie, you're a boss. But the thing is, somebody needs to come and check on you and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. Because you can get caught up in just being this boss and you still ain't going nowhere. Okay. So we want you to go somewhere. We want you to win. So that's one of the things, is that definitely those are the top 3 commitments that you must make. I must make them for me. You must make them for yourself, right? And the thing is, so number 1, which is following the path of mastery. Now, I'm not sure if you all have ever heard of like a journeyman or a master electrician, but I work with journeymen and master electricians, and I was like wondering, why they call them journeymen, or master this or master whatever. And it's because they put in effort in the work to be able to learn this trade over time, right? And the same thing that whatever we want to do, whether it's pursuing art, whether it's we're building a business, we just have a hobby, we want to bake some cakes, whatever it is. You have to get to that point where you're saying, well, am I mastering this? am I going to now learn how to really focus my thinking, to be able to say I am the best or I'm just okay. Like you actually have that choice, right? To just be like, oh, I know how to bake. It's all right. It tastes good, but it might not look all pretty like some of the people that have all the decorated cakes and all the trimmings and everything. It's like wow, it's really it makes you really look at it, right? But yours might taste good, but it may not look good because you didn't master it. You just did just enough, to get it done. It's edible. But who wants to just have something that's edible? You want to have something that's a delicacy, right? So that really means that you need to stretch yourself to become the master of it. And it was something that I wrote down. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. And it was it says giving. Do you want to give the best you have, or you want to become the best you can be? That's what it says. Do you want to just give the best, or you want to actually become the best? And so that was like, is it you just want to just be okay, or do you want to be excellent? And for me, like I know I want to go for excellent. I get in trouble for going for excellent all the time. Almost every, like I'll say, before being an entrepreneur, like with jobs, I would get in trouble because they'd be like, you took too long to do this. And I'm like, but I actually found all of these issues or errors or whatever along the way because I've honed in and I saw stuff y'all been missing. And they were like, well, we ain't asked you to find it. Can y'all believe that? They was like, even one of them was in an accounting office at a very large store. And so I'm over here. I was finding y'all thousands of dollars of money that was going places it shouldn't go. And they said, you taking too long to find it. You need to be done in X amount of time. And so you don't need to be looking for it. Okay. But that's me. So I was like, well, this job ain't for me because I'm going to give my all. I ain't about to turn a blind eye and not tell y'all stuff. That's just me, right? That goes back to those core values. And so even when I work with my clients, it was like, if I can't give y'all the best, and build out things, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do half stuff. Like some people will be like, can you just create a link for me and a button? Nope. I don't do links and buttons. I do the whole shebang. So I'm like, because that's what you need. The link and the button only going to take you so far. But anyway, so going back to, yes, excellence. That's what we're talking about, right? And so one of the things they brought up too was Michelangelo. Michelangelo, he has a quote. He says, if people knew how hard I worked to get my mastery, it wouldn't seem so wonderful at all. So he was trying to say, like, even though he put in all this effort, but nobody sees it. All they saw is his work. So they're like, oh, wow, look at it. He's just gifted. But he's like, listen, he was like, I put in work to be able to make this magic happen with this paint. Right? And so that's what we have to kind of look at too. How much time are you putting in? What is the effort that you are putting in to master whatever it is that you're doing? Are you just doing it just to get by? Are you just doing it just to make money? I mean, heck, if that's the case, be honest. But if you're really there and you really believe in what you're doing, then you need to actually put in 100% of your effort and your time to be able to get it done. That's how I feel about it. But they said, knowledge begets knowledge and skills build upon other skills. So you actually need those things to be able to become better. And the more knowledge you have and the more skills you have, the less effort it actually takes for you to get it done. So that in the end, you actually saving more time. You might put in a lot of time and a lot of work in the beginning, but at the end, it saves you time. And then they brought up the last thing I'm going to share. It kind of just blew my mind. They talked about move from E to P. And I was like, what is E to P? They're like, move from your an entrepreneurial approach to a purposeful approach. And we're like, well, aren't I an entrepreneur? Why can't I have an entrepreneur approach? Well, they explain the difference. And so to be purposeful means that you are implementing skills, systems, and relationships that will put whatever you are learning into action. Versus if you are going with the entrepreneur mindset, it actually reminded me, and no offense to anybody if y'all are in MLM, but I'm going to say what I'm going to say. But it reminded me of people who get into MLMs because they get into it, they hear the stuff, they hear the product, they buy into, the story that the person, got them excited about, and then they get in and then they say it doesn't work. I'm not able to do or get the results that you told me I should be able to get. And then they end up leaving that company, and then they go to another company, and then they go to another company, right? They just keep switching product. But honestly, it's the same system. What happens is that we all have a ceiling. We have a ceiling. Everybody has a ceiling, right? So they reach this ceiling and they're like, ouch, I just hit my head. I just hit my head on the ceiling and it hurt. I don't want to go no higher, right? And so then they be like, let me just go somewhere else where they think it's going to make it feel easier. It's going to feel good, right? It's not going to hit my head in this other environment. But then they get back there and they hit their head again. And so what happens is then they resign. So they go through this cycle, they said, of basically they get disappointment. They get disappointed, they resign, and then they go find green pastures. And then it becomes a cycle over and over and over again. And so that is what that entrepreneur approach is. And I'm like, you know what? I have seen that happen so many times, even with things that we believe in, right? Our businesses, we get to that point of frustration. It's not really that it's not working, it's that we actually have to stretch. We have to stretch, we have to learn something new. And like I said, this is why I am coming to you all with video cliff notes for the entrepreneurs out here, is because we do hit that ceiling and we don't know what to do next. Or sometimes we actually know what we need to do, but we are not being held accountable to go and do it. And that is the last part of it. So to be able to get to that part where we really feel like we're not just okay with being okay, we want to be excellent, and we are not going to switch off our learning anymore. We're actually going to pursue it. We need someone actually to hold us accountable to be able to reach those goals, right? Or be able to focus in on those one things to be able to get these things done that we need to get done to reach them. And so that means, yes, you have to find a peer, a colleague, a mentor, a coach to help you to be able to move towards being accountable, right? To be able to, and your accountability person, it shouldn't be no yes person. They shouldn't tell you yes all the time. They're going to have to keep it real 100%. They're not going to allow you to become a victim. Nope. No. Oh my God, this is not working. Like, it's not a time to, you need a counselor for that. You got to get you a counselor to be able to talk it out. They there to hold you accountable, right? That you getting the work done that you need to get done. And you taking ownership for every single problem that is coming up. And not only that, they should also be a person where if you need it, they can help you brainstorm or offer you expertise. That is their job, not the other stuff. So that is the fastest way for us to become accountable, is by getting us an accountability partner, which will create those progress checks that we need. They will offer the support that we need at the time and get us focused to stay on target. So I know that was a lot this today, y'all. And I told y'all I usually don't try to hold y'all too long because we are out here trying to make moves, make things happen. But I had to jump on and share chapters 14, chapter 15 of the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. I thank you all so much for joining in. Stay tuned. Again, I try to go live every evening, usually between at least 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. I usually swap, depends on if I am back stable, right? So I can be able to bring you all my expertise, and not be distracted. That's the thing, right? So I thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you all on tomorrow as we go into chapters 17 and 18. You all have a most amazing evening and have a fabulous Thursday as we move in. So talk to y'all soon. Evening. Good night.